By the way, nice trucks. You think I could hop into one of them and drive it away? I'd love to do it. Just drive the hell out of here. Just get the hell out of this. I had such a good life. My life was great. And then I said, let's do this, darling. This will be a lot of fun. But you know what? I'm so happy with it because nobody has ever done so much in the first 3.5 years. No administration.
And I left Louisiana and I went to Puerto Rico and I met with the president.
Okay, just so I can make sure that I'm right, I'm going to look this up. Who is the president of Puerto Rico Virgin Islands? Look there! It's President Trump. What a freaking idiot. You are an idiot.
Once you realize that Trump is basically the perfect African president, you start to notice the similarities everywhere.
I'm really rich. I have a great temperament. They love me anyway. I don't have to do this. I've done an amazing job. I was born with a certain intellect. God helped me by giving me a certain brain.
Idi Amin, former president and best president of Uganda.
The people like me very much. I am very popular. I am very powerful. I am the one who has got the money. I have got a very good brain.
Things about Donald Trump. But what are real Americans saying?
The guy's a winner.
He's authentic.
He's the only one who actually created jobs.
Hola amigos.
I think he can make this country great again.
So when people ask why you support Donald Trump, just tell them.
He's going to take our economy from here to here.
He's not some cautious politician. He says what I'm thinking. Some of his ideas seem a little out there, but I like that he's looking towards solutions.
He's definitely not PC. So why do I support Trump? 3 words. Good at business.
Liberals care about black votes, while conservatives care about black people.
Let's just make this perfectly clear. Trump supporters are not conservatives. They're nationalists. They're white supremacists. They're in a cult. Don't try to give yourself that name conservative when you out here supporting Donald Trump, who shits on the Constitution, who shits on all conservative ideologies. Married 3 times, had sex with a porn star and paid her off. That's conservative behavior. These videos are making me laugh. Trump supporters don't care about black people. They care about themselves and money. So you and your little cult members can go back under the rocks you came from.
So excuse the tears, but I just found out today that I'm no longer a daughter, no longer a sister, no longer a niece. I posted some posts in support of Black Lives Matter, and my family couldn't handle that and disowned me. I also found out I'm no longer a godmother to my goddaughter. I've lost a best friend and several others that I'm close to, but I didn't post it in hopes of changing their minds. I posted it in hopes that anybody who is black, gay, of any other race, of any other religion, whoever has been attacked by Trump, that you have a safe place with me, that I'm a center of support for you. And it fucking hurts. But I'd do it over and over and over again.
This is our real
Donald Trump wins the presidency.
This is not fair.
Right, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Donald, you stupid man.
The disinfectant.
You played golf that never led. Now there's thousands of us
100,000 coronavirus deaths.
Donald, hope you had your fun, 'cause soon we're gonna lock your ass
tax records reveal fraud and schemes.
But it affects virtually nobody.
Told 20,000
Absolutely no collusion.
Gonna cast my vote for Joe this time tomorrow. Say so long, what you gone? America's in tatters.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
So it's been 4 weeks now since my wife Michelle died of COVID-19. And when I got the news today that Joe Biden was our president-elect, I cried. I cried more than I have cried in the 4 weeks since my wife died in front of me. I cried for humanity. I cried for kindness. I cried for love. I cried because I feel that we won. I cried because the failed leadership in the White House over the last 4 years is on its way out. And it's that failed leadership that killed my wife. Now, make no mistake, I'm going to move forward because kindness is my message. And if I can move forward, you can move forward too. God bless America.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
If I lose to him, I don't know what I'm going to do. I will never speak to you again. You'll never see me again.
You did call the president a, quote, fool, liar, clown, racist, Putin's puppy, and the worst president America has ever had, and you told him to shut up. Do you regret any of that? No. Why not? Because everything I said was true.
Oh, that's the best part about this. He can't leave the country. Okay? For the rest of his life, he is going to have a Secret Service detail up his behind 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. He and his family all got high-level security clearances. When you leave office and get debriefed from your clearances, you can't leave the country for a while. They keep a real close watch on you. You don't get to learn all of our country's secrets and then skip off to Russia. It doesn't work that way. I hope Trump realizes what he signed up for when he took the idea of becoming president, because he'll never have privacy again.
Judge, first of all, if you have not been watching this election, which I think everyone has been, he went to all the places that a lot of Democrats wouldn't go, like Fox News, and got them together so many times. If you haven't seen it, it's all over social media. But we have to give him his flowers, and I know he's going to have an amazing future in politics, and specifically in this administration. Let's just call him Secretary Pete Buttigieg from now. But can we talk about what he's been doing this election to get Joe Biden elected? His work should go on the table. Let's talk about it.
I also appreciated that she stood up for American troops. You know, the President of the United States calling those who served suckers and losers, saying he didn't understand what's in it for them while he was standing on the hallowed ground of Section 60.
Right, but Mayor Pete, you know the President
anyone who
has said...
served knows what Section 60 means.
Hello.
And the way he talked about the...
Igen, de egyszer ketten jöttünk haza, és akkor is lefutott, eszébe jutott fele úton le, hogy hiába ment, visszajött. Hát olyan buta vagy néha. Igen, szokásból lerohan. Hát milyen...
So for anyone on either side of the political spectrum that's calling for a civil war, on behalf of every man and woman who's ever served in a combat zone and seen war, shut the fuck up.
Fox, and you have every right to be, you should check out the Twitter feed of the president's spawn, because it is like rantings in crayon by somebody having an LSD trip. These are things that are...
Now, there is, of course, a mystery that hangs over all this, which is how the press conference came to be held at Four Seasons Total Landscaping in the first place. One could imagine a situation where the president has the opportunity to book the Four Seasons, only to have that person called the wrong Four Seasons in Philadelphia. New York Times reports the mistake was not actually in the booking, but in a garbled game of telephone on the other end. Rudy Giuliani and Trump campaign advisor Corey Lewandowski told the president on Saturday morning their intended location for the news conference, and he misunderstood, assuming it was an upscale hotel, according to multiple people familiar with the matter. So reporters from all over the world showed up. The Four Seasons Total Landscaping right off Route 95.
Ezen annyit rögtem.
If it wasn't so sad, you'd have to laugh. About the few Republican political figures in the US who express small amounts of shock about Trump's outrageous claims that the election is being stolen from him. They still cannot denounce him outright, despite Trump again showing his clear preparedness to launch a fascist takeover should the democratic process fail him. Democrats are still analyzing the lack of facts in Trump's 17-minute speech. Are you kidding? Didn't you hear what he said? This was a mesmerizing call to arms to his followers to help him out, complete with targets. The only thing saving the US right now is that 4 years weren't quite enough for Trump to stack enough courts and to radicalize enough Americans to reach his goal. If you didn't vote, or you voted unquestioningly along party lines for Trump, you should hang your head in shame. Every vote mattered.
What's happening at the White House, November 7th? As you can see, there are all these messages and signs left on the White House. I took a lot of footage of them, and I'm going to do a whole video on just the messages on the fence. So if you want to see more, be sure to give a follow, and I'll put that video out pretty soon. But the craziest thing happened while we were at the White House. We were walking around trying to take in all the sights, and I decided to stop and interview a couple of people on the street about how they were feeling. And while we were interviewing these 3 women, they called the race. Take a watch. And let's just say the mood went from apprehensive to absolutely ecstatic. There were a couple of Trump supporters around earlier. They all left as soon as the race was called. The sound of blaring horns is filling the street, and this song has been playing on repeat. So here's to leaving the upside down America behind in a better.
The president just arrived at his golf course in Virginia. This is his 209th golf outing, a beautiful day here in Washington. Clearly, the president necessarily did not want to be here at the White House as this news was breaking across the country. We have been told by sources here at the White House that the president is angry and he's disappointed in how this has turned out, but that he's also been resigned to the fact that the math was just simply not in his favor. So despite some of the public bluster of calling fraud on the election and saying that he actually won it, we actually saw the president tweet out just a little bit ago as he arrived at his golf course that I won the election by a lot. That was a tweet that was immediately flagged by Twitter for being misleading, and obviously that is wrong. So the president is kind of clinging to this reality that he has tried to create, but sources around him are telling us that he does realize that he has likely lost this election.
First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking we would not have Biden Harris by our side. Then we spent so many nights glued to our TV screens and we grew strong. Can we learn how to get along? 'Cause blue is back, we're here to stay. We care about each other, fighting for equality. Time to get some brand new locks or maybe throw away the key. 'Cause we finally got Trump out, won't be back to bother me. Go on now, go, walk out the door, just turn around now. Trump's not welcome anymore. He was the one who tried to take away our rights, but we won't crumble, we won't lay down and die. We survived.
I've just been informed that Joe Biden's dog is going to be the first ever shelter dog in the White House. He was in a dog shelter and now he's going to live in the White House.
I'm Chris Hickson's wife. Thank you.
I wanted to.
This is Chris's son.
I'm his son.
Well, how are you? Good. Thank you for hugging me. You okay? You okay? You'll be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. I promise. Okay, I promise. I promise you're gonna.
I only have one request of Trump supporters. Keep those stickers on the back of your cars. Keep wearing that hat. Keep waving that flag. Keep those signs in your yard. Don't be afraid. Keep that same energy that you've had for the last 4 years for this racist, authoritarian, misogynistic, hateful man. Don't be ashamed of it. Let everybody know what you supported for 4 years.
Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hey, you live here in Pittsburgh?
No, actually, I'm here.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Excuse me, could you tell me?
Bye-bye. I'm sorry, what? What part didn't you understand? The buh or the bye? Bye-bye. Hi, I was just wondering.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Excuse me, hello, you have been rude to me
Bye-bye.
the entire flight. No,
Bye-bye.
I wanted a blanket and you never brought it to me. And
Kathy, little help.
I'm gonna
Bye-bye.
report this.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna report each of you. You are so rude.
Bye-bye.
I'll never fly this ridiculous
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Bye-bye.
I don't get it.
There's nothing to get. Bye-bye.
Election litigation update. This update is basically just to put you at ease that the Trump campaign lawyers are so wildly incompetent and the complaints that they're filing are so batshit insane and without merit that it's leading to courtroom exchanges like this. Here, the campaign was seeking an injunction to stop the counting in Philadelphia because they wanted their people in the room. Judge, are your observers in the counting room? Trump campaign, there are a non-zero number of people in the room. Judge, I'm asking you as a member of the bar of this court, are people representing the Donald J. Trump for president representing the plaintiffs in that room? Trump campaign, yes. Diamond, I'm sorry, then what's your problem? Later, when the Trump campaign lawyer said, there's another dimension to this problem, the judge loudly exhaled and said, length and width, time and space. When you see headlines about all the lawsuits the Trump campaign is filing, don't stress. Anybody can file a lawsuit, doesn't mean they can win.
I really need to talk about what just occurred. My psyche. I just watched Biden's speech, and I was like, "Oh wow, full sentences. This is awesome." And I was like, "Oh, this is really good."
Hát ehhez kell töltés, nem válaszol.
Condolences and talking about how painful.
Miért? Mit csinál? Mit mutat?
Mutatja, hogy hogy kell tölteni. The way they've been doing it is even closely in line with their MO than anything you could have conceived or dreamed of. This is the defiant photo tweeted yesterday by the Trump campaign communications director, showing headquarters plastered with old copies of an old Washington Times front page declaring President Gore, as quote a reminder, the media doesn't select the president. They probably should have known this was a fake by the different fonts in that headline, or the sidebar story about George W. Bush avenging his father, or, and this is really my favorite, the photo of Al Gore being sworn in on the day after the election.